The Mel Carmine Show begins in just 1 minute. Support the movement. Visit QFS1776.com for exclusive one-of-a-kind merch that makes a powerful statement. Protect your wealth. Cash is trash. Go to carminesgold.com and secure real assets, silver, gold, delivered anywhere in the U.S. Text Mel at 786-704-8817. Looking to acquire XRP? Minimum is $10,000 investment, and there is no limit, even up to $100 million worth. Again, text Mel with full details at 786-704-8817 and allow up to 24 hours for a response. And if by chance you're visiting Cape Canaveral or you are a local, visit stayingalive.com, alive with two E's, and recharge your body at the cellular level. The show with your host, Mel Carmine, starts right now. Well, folks, we have him. Lewis Herms is running for governor of California, and wouldn't you know it, he happens to be in the number 3 slot, soon to be number 2 slot, and before you know it, he will be the governor of California. Why? Because the people are resonating with the fact that we got to get the little ones out of the tunnels. You know, I'm not going to get too graphic. You know exactly where we're going with this, okay? There's so much stuff. There's so many illegal tax agencies. People have moved out of California in droves. Well, guess what? When he's governor, I'm moving to California. You know why? Because heaven on earth is about to happen. Nasara Jasara, call it whatever you want to call it. You can't have the devil live right next door to heaven and have him, you know, have open borders and bring in the fentanyl and the sex trafficking and everything's kumbaya. And we got our riches over here with the reset and they're going to do their thing. No. Someone's got to win. Someone's got to lose. Lewis, congratulations on taking the 3rd spot, and I can't wait to be part of getting you to that 2nd spot. I know that business plan that we wrote here, you got some good stuff out of that. Maybe we'll hit that as well up as well. Welcome to the Mel Carmine Show, brother. How you doing?
Thank you. Thank you. Let me just clarify. That's the 3rd conservative spot because I don't even look on the other side. That's unnecessary at the moment. They're going to destroy themselves.
Right. Interesting. Awesome. So anyway, tell us what's been going on with the campaign. What I understand that some of the candidates are copying you, which is a form of flattery, which is good. Tell me, where is this going? I see you becoming the governor. I really do.
I appreciate that. A lot of people are saying that, and it's I like that because it's not only a form of manifestation. They're probably seeing something that's pretty game changing. And I believe the reason why we're getting so much traction is because I truly am for we the people. And I believe in working on a base of authenticity, whether people like it or not, they appreciate it and they respect somebody that's just being honest with them. Right. And that gets a lot of traction. So we have a lot of going on in the background that we haven't even nobody's even going to see what we're doing until probably late January, early February. That's when the house is really going to be shaken apart and people are going to go, oh no, right? You know, we understand the art of war. So we're playing this pretty perfectly at the moment. We're excited though, because the message resonating of ending that certain type of trafficking involving children is starting to really resonate with people. And they're like, yeah, absolutely. We should be focusing on that. We need to focus on our health. And that's a huge part of my message. And you know, what's really hitting hard, which I love, is people are understanding that we need to unify to get down and get rid of all parasitical actors, no matter what letter they have next to their name.
Yeah. But you know, the really crazy thing of it all is this, and I think you'll resonate what I'm about to say, is the fact that this child trafficking stuff connects to some of our letter agencies right within our government. And we have the proof, lock, stock, and barrel. This is not even an argument. There shouldn't even be a court case, to be quite honest with you. That's how much proof we have. And so what is going to go on with that? I mean, let's just manifest this. You get elected as the governor of, or the guardian, as you like to call it. I love that, by the way, of California. And we are the governors. We're going to govern you to make sure you do your job, right?
Exactly right.
And so, you know, you come in, we have the proof. How does this go down? Are you going to go pull a Donald Trump on these guys in the middle of the night and do a Maduro on these guys and arrest everybody? How's this going to go down? I know you don't want to sort of telecast your moves, but give us a little teaser, if you will.
Yeah, like President Trump would say, you don't tell people your war plan ahead of time. But what I'll give you some indications of what we're looking at. So currently, I'm in the middle of putting together an extraordinarily powerful anti-trafficking task force. And that will be the best of the best are the people that I'm talking to right now. I'm doing the same in regards to corruption. I have attorneys involved and investigators involved in digging into some of the corruption right now. We're not waiting for that, right? So I'm acting as if, and then we'll take action on day one that in all areas will blow a lot of people away.
And for the record, I think it needs to be mentioned the fact that you've never been a politician, you've never
No.
been a mayor, you've never been a councilman, you've never been anything, and even local politics in your local town, right? So you have zero experience. Somebody may argue, hey, what kind of experience do you have? But you have experience in being a problem solver with Fortune 500 companies and Fortune 100 companies that bring you in and say, hey, we got a problem. And you can basically pinpoint those problems and figure out a solution to all those problems. And you don't come cheap. So obviously you do have experience, and the private sector is really not much different than the government sector, as far as I'm concerned. So tell the people about that.
Yeah, I think it's important because my formula for troubleshooting is very simple, and anybody can look at it. First, you take a problem, you have to change the language. That problem needs to become a challenge because when there's a challenge, that's not only motivating, but there's a solution when there's a challenge. So then you find generally you look for, I reverse engineer whatever the problem is, and it will lead me to the simple solution. And I think that's God's solution because everything else is messy if it's not simple. And then we just act on it. You just go, okay, God, let's do it. And you move forward. And this is what I've used this process for, geez, 40 years now. And it's been hyper successful. There's no reason why it can't be successful here because really California needs to be run from somebody that believes in law and order, but holding law to order also. And that's people get those things messed up. It also needs to be run by somebody that's a CEO, somebody that understands how to run a business, has to make good decisions and cut bait when they're not making a good decision. Instead of holding on for pride, you just have to, nope, I effed up on that. Let's move forward onto this idea, right? So there's some very specific principles, but you also have to be, and I was just on the phone with another candidate, you have to be willing to take a bullet for the cause. And that will mean that you will not be compromised. Somebody is not going to get you in a position where you're going to have to accept a bunch of money or take their rules because you're willing to die for the cause. This is bigger than all of us, much bigger than all of us. And the reality is, and my wife doesn't like when I say this, but the reality is, if I'm more powerful as a martyr than I am in office, well, God, make it be because we need to fix this because the demons are at the doorstep.
But guys like you and I are not afraid of dying. You know that. We're
Nope.
really not. I mean, I put my neck out on the line. I got to walk around with several guns in my pocket at all times because of, my fame and misfortune, as I like to call it. But the reality is, God has put leaders in our place at a certain time, and God does not choose wimps. I can tell you that for a fact. This guy's not a wimp. I've gotten to know you personally, and I think you stand up for what real, true Americana is, and I think people resonated with you. Hence the reason why you're in the third spot. And I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. I think once the podcasting community hopefully puts all of their differences aside. If you don't think we have dirty laundry inside the podcasting community, you'll be making a big mistake. There's plenty of it. Okay. And I'm willing to put my differences aside. And there's a few people that I don't resonate with, and there's a few people out there that don't resonate with Mel Carmine, and I really don't give a shit. But I'm willing to put my differences aside for a better cause, which is this: winning California for the people, right? So, what's front and center right now that you're working on that you're allowed to divulge?
Well, I can just tell you what's next. As of Saturday the 10th, I'll be on a debate stage with four other candidates. So you have Bianco, Hilton, Serpa, Mercury, and myself will be on that stage. They call it a crosstalk, so who knows if it'll be a debate, but regardless, could be a town hall. So that's exciting. And then I have extraordinarily important meetings going on in the background in the next week, flying all over the place. And then I go on tour the 22nd, starting in Northern California. for a month straight on the road. And that's going to be very, very exciting because some of the meetings and the people that we're meeting with and the audiences that we get to say, we're working for you. Let us know what you need and we're going to pull it forward. So that's what we're doing. And I got to say, it's a tiring journey for sure, but it's a worthy journey. And the fact that we, the people, are finally standing up. This is not about Lewis Herms, Mel. This is
No,
about we, the people, finally standing up and say, we are empowered to take back the state of California. And they're just using me as a conduit. That's all I am.
absolutely. Now, I got your movie on queue. It's going to be released. I released it on several channels already, and it's about to be released on my YouTube channels here in the next couple of days as well. Because I got so much content that I've been sandbagging, including this one. We'll hopefully get it out in the next couple of days for sure. But so, what are your opponents? How are your opponents reacting to what you're doing? Because you're basically a cut from a different kind of cloth. These guys are more mainstream, more, they're trying to please the mainstream hierarchy, if you will. You're
Yeah.
not that guy. You're a completely different animal.
Yeah, I've gotten to know some of them. I have to honestly, there's a couple really good guys involved in this too. They're like people guys. I think they may have some policy challenges that they should work on, and some need to work on some other things. Um, but overall, I think it's been very disruptive for a lot of candidates because I don't play by the political rules or the political games. I refuse to. If it's not best for the people, it's not authentic. I'm just not interested in having the conversation, and I'll call you out. Um, so it's made a couple of them very, very uncomfortable. In
Right.
fact, a lot of stuff of mine has already been stolen, which is weird. If I was, and this was when I was a so-called nobody, right?
Mm.
A lot of it was stolen. But the good news is we were smart enough to understand this would happen from the beginning, and so everything is time stamped, date stamped. So when the time comes, it'll be very obvious who the original creator of these ideas were. So it'll work to our advantage, and we're very patient. And one of my favorite books is right there.
Well, keep time stamping it and keep keeping dates on stuff because if you think they're not going to steal other great ideas, they will. And you and I've been brainstorming this from the beginning. We came up with a pretty good, ruthless gangster type business plan on how to take California because you have to have a gangster's mindset. You can't go in there. These guys are playing for keeps. These guys are not joking around. I mean, look at Governor Newsom. I mean, look, we can get into all the conspiracy analytical part of it, and a lot of it is factual. And we would probably get this channel shut down, with all the fires and all the stuff out there and all the stuff that's been happening, and the land grab and the fact that we should have berms, right, that are at least 50 to 100 feet wide in between forests cut through so that if you have a fire here and you got a berm on this side and a berm on that side, you don't got to be a fireman with a rocket science degree to figure that one out, that the fire will stop where the berm is, right? I mean, even Donald Trump has mentioned that. But yet these guys refuse to do the things that are so simple. Why do you think that is?
It's intent. In fact, I was in the Palisades for the sad anniversary just 2 days ago, and I got to speak on stage. And several speakers came up on stage. I was one of the last ones, and I said something that nobody wanted to say. And I said, when do all these coincidences mathematically add up to intent? When are you going to go for investigations on the intent to burn your city down and stop saying, oh, they're feckless or they're just not organized or whatever? The excuses get old after a while. I'm sorry. Lahaina, land grab, right? Paradise still can't build. Altadena can't build. Palisades, they're stopping everything they can possibly, and there's a land grab going there. In fact, we're the only person who has a solution to the land grab. So all this stuff goes on, and people unfortunately keep screaming that they're unorganized or they just don't care. No, no, guys. When you run out of water well ahead of time, you have 25 years of no fire abatement. They intentionally reduce Cal Fire. There's no response whatsoever. And a couple named the Resnicks own 60 to 70% of the water in an area, and they happen to be Gavin Newsom's biggest donor. When does intent come down there? Now you want to go to conspiracies in 2012, still up on their website, and I screenshotted Ederson International. Anybody go to Ederson International's website? That's who controls this area in Ventura and LA counties. Go on their website and type in their search bar smart meters. Go down a couple of links, and it will tell you right there their intention on what cities they want to put smart meters in. Now, there's almost 100 cities in LA and Ventura County, yet the 12, 13, 14 cities that all burned down just happen to be the exact same ones that are smart meters. Am I saying that the smart meters caused the fire? No, I have no evidence of that. But what I'm saying is we need to pull our heads out of our ass and finally start to look at these and say, that is a crazy coincidence. Let's at minimum do an
Investigate it.
investigation.
Absolutely. Anybody
Common
with, you know,
sense.
3 brain cells can figure that out, right?
Yeah,
Why
probably
isn't it
two.
being done? As far as I'm concerned, and if I could put my 2 cents in for whatever it's worth, it's criminal. It's criminal at the top. The fish stinks from the head on down. Okay.
Absolutely.
And at least that's what we say in Sicily. Okay. And so, look, you got a long road ahead of you. I really am very serious. I want to work with you. I want you to let it be known that Mel Carmine is putting all of his differences aside with everybody, whether they like me or not. Sometimes people don't even have to really tell you that they don't like you. You could just feel the vibe, right? And it's okay. I'm fine. I don't lose any sleep over it. I just keep rolling forward like a rock. A rolling rock, as they say, gathers no moss. But the reality is, I'm willing to put my differences aside, and I'm putting it out here publicly to help this man win California. Then after he wins California, if you want to go and hating on Mel Carmine, you can continue on your trajectory, if you will. But I want to get this guy in, so I'm willing to work with everybody. And you know who you are out there: the Nino Rodriguez's, the Scott McKays, the SG Anons, all of you guys. Patriot Under Fire, or whatever his name is, Patriot Underground. All right.
So the key is, in fact, it's interesting. All of those people support me. So
Yes.
what I think is very important for everybody, and I'm not singling out
Sure.
anybody, but we all, including myself, right? We need to not look at what's best for us. We need to be looking at what's best for the people and what's best for the United States. And
Yes.
ultimately, a we the people guy taking California back, that will permeate the rest of the world. Because when they see a guy with virtually no name, but a lot of effort and a lot of passion and some great solutions can win California, do you know what the ramifications for the rest of the United States are? Epic. Epic.
Yeah.
We win California, we take back our country.
Well,
It's going to
California's
be
been the
beautiful.
breadbasket of the world, especially the United States of America, for a long, long time. I mean, what are we doing in realm of stopping? I'm sure you have a very aggressive plan on stopping the poisoning of our food, the
Oh,
chemtrails, all of that stuff, right?
huge, huge. Yeah. Well, we're going to outlaw it all, and we're going to be putting people in prison.
Yeah.
Done.
I
We're not
mean,
going to
look,
put,
I
we're not
just
going to
put
put up
out
with anything.
I just put out a very, very short and sweet, but very powerful email to the governor. And I'm requesting for a one-on-one appointment with the governor of Florida. And I basically said that, look, if you got to get, whatever you got to do, call Trump to give you the rights to call on the Air Force and bring these chemtrails guys down and land them
I
and
saw that.
prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. Let's do it. If not, if you don't respond to me, I says I'm ready, willing, and able to bring at least 200 or 300 podcasters to Tallahassee with cameras rolling, and we're going to go live and we're going to expose this on a massive scale. What do you want to do? Checkmate, right? So I'm waiting for the governor of Florida to contact Mel Carmine.
Well, Mel, it's always about we the people. I've been screaming this for 6 years, and I've been proving it time and time again. When we get organized, we win.
Oh,
Every single
absolutely.
time. Every single time when we get organized, we win. The challenge is we're so psyoped into submission that we don't get organized. And you know who's the hardest to get organized?
Yeah.
Conservatives. And the reason why is because they're independent, right? They're inherently independent,
Yes.
where liberals are followers generally. So
Sure.
therefore, they'll do what they're told to do. Well,
Yeah.
unfortunately, make we cannot mix up independence with smart leadership and coming together symbiotically, but we tend to do that as conservatives, right?
Sure.
Independence does not mean you cannot be part of a movement.
Yeah.
Independence means you can't be part of something bigger than you. You absolutely can. They're not mutually exclusive. And I
Yeah.
think that's where conservatives really screw up is they think about, well, it's not my idea, so I don't want to do this. No, guys, it's about coming together as a unit, right? And there's also collective consciousness that will permeate the whole collective all across the world when you get enough people on the same page.
Exactly.
And we need to understand it's time to put our egos on the shelf and let's just work for something bigger than us.
Check your ego at the door. I always say that. Check your ego at the door. Let's all come together for the better good, and then do whatever you want to do. Right?
Well, look at what the founding fathers did. The founding fathers had righteous arguments and huge arguments, but you know what? They knew one thing. They knew what their end goal was and
Right.
what the purpose was. And their end goal was to make this the greatest place on the planet for we the people. That was their
Yes.
end goal. So
Yes.
no matter what their arguments are, they were always moving forward. What happens is I think we should use the founding fathers as an example would make a lot of sense so we can put our whatever differences we have aside like you're doing and say, you know what, we have a goal, let's work together for the goal. And you know what the founding fathers did afterwards also with little known people, I mean many people don't know about this, after they came to conclusions on a lot of our founding documents, then they had arguments again and they
Right.
went at it to
Right.
do other things, right?
Right. Of course.
But that's okay because that's inherently that's what our makeup is. No problem with that whatsoever. But I think we have a bigger purpose right now. And I believe taking California back and putting it in the hands of the we the people, where you govern me as guardian, is what we need to do.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's a well. Listen, I want to go live in California. I mean, what's his name? Tony Bennett left his heart in San Francisco. I left my heart in all of California. I love California. You
I've
know,
so many people say they're going to move back when I'm elected.
I
And I
will
say,
move. I will move
yep,
there. Except I want my flying car. I want clean air. I want clean food. I want all the life extension technology that they're hiding from us. I want to live to be 1,000 healthy years. I want to be able to commute from California to Florida and attend my healing center, and it will take me less time than to go in the extension of a Model T Ford from Merritt Island to Cape Canaveral,
right.
right?
It's
And they have the technology,
we have the technology. We
right?
absolutely do.
They
Yeah.
have the technology, but they're fluffing our balls with this, things that look like a freaking propellers with that look like a giant drone that you can only fly 20 minutes and you got to land and you got to charge up again. Come on, really? Stop with the nonsense already. We know you got it,
Yeah, they have
right?
it. That's why people died for it.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So it's exciting, man, that to really see you take the third spot. People don't notice, but you are not running as a Republican or a Democrat. He doesn't fit in either one of those boxes. You are running as an independent. So let that be known. How did that come about?
Yeah, so I think technically they call it a non-political or non-party preference. So the way it came about is I really have been evaluating things for a long time, and I've decided that there is a massive division in this country where we have put party before the people, and it's been very clear. And then I've watched the Republican Party get some traction, but then at least 50% of them are filled with rhinos. So I want people to understand a rhino is a Republican name only. That's controlled opposition. That's worse than a Democrat. And
100%.
I got a lot of heat from this, but let's think about this. So as I put in my film, the Democrat is like the snake at your doorstep. At least they're telling you that they want to bite you in the ass and they want to poison you, right? They're telling you.
Exactly.
The rhino is the one that slithers into your bed sheets, cuddled up next to you, and when
Yeah.
you turn your back, that's when they strike,
Yeah.
right? So I've looked into it, and in my opinion, and I know this is not popular, but the California GOP seems to be a corrupt organization. And their intent does not seem to win a seat for any Republican. They
Yeah,
seem more like they want to disrupt the race, collect as much money as they can. And there's evidence of that. But if you take it even deeper and rewind again back to our founding fathers, you've got John Adams, James Madison, George Washington, all saying that a two-party system is really the death of America. And Thomas Jefferson had one of the most amazing statements. And to summarize, he said, if I have to select between going to heaven or taking a political party, I guess I'm not going to heaven.
sure.
Because he understood the ramification of parties, right? So I took no party preference. Now I have a beautiful line of victory to doing that. And I can tell you what I need to do. And I don't mind if all my other candidates know, is my goal is to bring out the people that didn't vote previously. If I get just 5% that did not vote in 2022,
The guys that are
I
fed up with the system.
exactly, I've won. Just 5%. That's it.
How many fed up people in California, guys? Hey, he's sending you a message. This guy's not a politician. I know him
Nope.
personally,
Yep.
and I call him my friend.
Yes, you are. And let's not play the game anymore. That's really what it comes down to. We're not playing their game.
Yeah,
It's a psyop, to be honest with you.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
because look at the two-party division. What happens, Mel, when you divide? What did they do when they divide? They
Conquer.
they conquer.
They conquer.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So let's stop dividing. Let's talk about policies, exactly what we can do for you. And I found this is really amazing. Liberals and conservatives alike, 85% of the issues out there they agree upon. But what do we always focus on? We focus on the 15%.
Yeah.
Why do we focus on the 15%? Because that keeps you divided. And when you're
Exactly.
divided, you can be conquered. The plan is so simple and understandable that it's very clear when you see it. And there's a lot of people that are resonating with my message. There's been a large Republican group, starts with CA. It might just end with GOP. I've been told that they're already sending letters out to Republican committees. Do not host Lewis Herms at your event. What are they afraid of? They're
Wow.
afraid of a clear message. The good news is a lot of them are finding a way to circumvent those requests and still have me. So it's working out really well.
Right, right. Well, we're about to come out with the movie Dear Mr. President Part 2. I'm going to release the name on your show for the second time now. I released it on Larry Ballard, but that's not live yet either. And I might release this video before his. So you'll be first. Uh, Dear Mr. President, show me the money.
I love it.
Dear Mr.
Yep.
President, show me the money, just like Jerry Maguire.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
And I think he's about to, because there's 150 trillion. Did you see this guy, Jim Rickards? There's a $150 trillion fund that Donald Trump is about to release. Comes from Jim Rickards, who used to be a CIA operative and consultant, and a consultant to the Pentagon. This is a heavy hitter. We also expect him, by the way, to be part of the XRP Ripple board. We don't know that. They don't have to disclose because they're not a public company. They're a private company. We expect he's been on the board for at least 8 or 9 years. So,
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah, heavy hitter.
I do.
So,
I've been told, I can't allude to it exactly, but that there's money sitting in certain places that I know of directly that's already being guarded and ready to be released when the time comes.
brother, truth is so much stranger than fiction. That's why it's so easy to hide when you're dealing with people that have calcified pineal glands who still use Scope mouthwash and Colgate toothpaste. Okay, and drink fluorinated water and all the bullshit. The reality is, you're right, and we have gone down that rabbit hole. Amber was able to pay a bill using my social security number. And I could tell you, not only did we pay the bill, we got a receipt saying thank you. Your payment was successful. How can a payment go from being successful to being unsuccessful 6 days later? I was born at night, but not last night.
Not last night.
Okay. So we went down that rabbit hole. Some people that were part of my wife's group paid bills off to the tune of $33,000 of credit card bills, and those came back successful as well. Okay. It's called a straw man. We're going to expose
Yep.
the whole kit and caboodle, and we're doing it on a third grade level of education where we're going to piss off everybody, including you Californians. That's why you should vote for this man.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Brother, it's a pleasure having you. You're a gem. Keep being conspiratorial. You're right on the right track.
Well, I got to be who I am.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you on the next one. Let's gather the troops. I'm ready. You tell me, Mel, we're going to have a meeting every Tuesday or every second Tuesday of the month, whatever, and I'll be part of that team if I'm allowed.
You are, and the phone call will be coming very soon.
Thank you.
Take care, Mel.